ready to get some. We're underway. Brett Group said these things are nice, but drive almost like a 602 modified. That's kind of what it is. I might give it a little more beans, maybe like 700, and call it a day, maybe 95%. Might call it a day, should be good to go. So far, we complete lap number 1 here with the Lucas Oil Speedway here for the IMCA Modifieds as everybody's slicing and dicing their way through the middle of turn 3 and 4 as the 11T of Kindertosh going to be able to roll to the middle side of the speedway. Levi Nielsen going to try to work to the outside shelf as here comes Kindertosh for the inside. Slide job in the middle of turn 1 and 2. He will take the race lead going down to the backstretch. We still got a long way to go here at the Lucas Oil Speedway as Kindertosh able to work to the bottom side of the speedway. He will retake the lead as they'll race into turn 1 and 2 as Kindertosh able to roll down to the back stretch. They're going to go alongside Nielsen, going to get close to that wall. Some contact is made between those drivers as Nielsen going to go to the top shelf. Once again, he will take the lead here at 5 out of 50. Oh boy, we're getting some park jobs as Wade Patterson, and where is JT Wellman going? He got into number 24, and then he gets into the 5 of Brett Groove. As Groove able to run to the bottom side of the speedway, JT Wellman stuck in the middle in that 4B machine. You will have that number 24 ride. It's going to be Wade Patterson got on the brake binders. He's going to lose 2 spots going out of the backstretch. You got that 00 machine. It'll be Thomas Kowick and Jr. in the 00. As the battle's going to continue as Brett Groove in the 4B. We got Brett Groove. Oh my goodness, we got him down to the front stretch. JT Wellman's gonna spin her around down to the back stretch as Wellman's gonna be going around. I was waiting for when this was gonna happen as there have been a little bit of extracurricular activities between the 4B and the number 5 of Brett Groove, and it looks like there might be a bit of a right rear quarter panel that got fed. We'll see, we'll see. You can see Brett Groove to the low side of the speedway. Comes up, but he's going to get that little bit of a nudge there as him and Brett Groove get together. And the 31 and the 24 of Patterson left with nowhere to go. And the 4B of Wellman will go around. Unreal. Hey, Debs Trades, thank you for the latest follow, by the way. In what class do you got to be? You have to be B-Class 1800. B-Class 1800. Thank you for the latest follow, by the way, as we are ready to line these cars right back up. A little bit of contact there between the 5 of Brett Groove and the 4B of JT Wellman, and literally just got involved, and it's just one of those deals where, you know, it happens. Yep. So as we're gonna get ready to go, as Levi Nielsen is still gonna be your race leader. I got you, Chris Golden. Ain't really much more you can do about that. A little bit of a lift and a little bit of take, and everybody else is piling in. 10 out of 50 for these IMCA Modifieds. As we're ready to rock and roll, we are underway as Levi Nielsen will roll through the middle of 3 and 4. We are back underway. Cool deal as the 115 of Dane Norris flashes in front of my eyes as we continue on here this afternoon. How about Chase Coleman in the 110? Coleman's going to throw the slide job. Nielsen going to try to drive to the outside, hits the brake pedal, and everybody else has got nowhere to go. Dane Norris got in the right rear quarter panel, and what a save as we're stacking them 3 wide. After number 25, and Kenny Cooney had to get on the binders down on the backstretch to avoid hitting the outside wall. Good Lord. Boy, these modifieds, like Brett Groove said, they almost drive like a 602 modified in a way, so we might have to bump it up just a little bit more. But it's been a pretty good show for these IMCA modifieds, as they weigh about 2,450 pounds, so just about 90% horsepower here this afternoon, so we restricted the living crap out of them. As the old number 110 of Chase Copeland comes out of nowhere and takes the race lead, you got Kindertosh on the 11T. Meanwhile, back to the inside, it's going to be the one and only, that's going to be Levi Nielsen to the inside as he'll work to the inside. The 11T of Kindertosh down to the backstretch. They will go door to door through the middle of turn 3 and 4 as that number 31 ride. That's Travis Coleman, that SpongeBob and Patrick machine as they go down to the front stretch as we get about, let's say 13 out of 50. Give me some math because I'm not very good at math. We got a long way to go. How about we say that? As Copeland in the 110, still going to be the leader of the 111T of Kindertosh. After that's going to go to the all black down machine of Levi Nielsen. Brett Groove, we have our second yellow flag on the speedway. Oh boy. Swanson had to get on the binders, and the number 2 of Caleb Durgan absolutely nowhere to go, as that's going to be our next yellow flag. Boy, I'll tell you what, Swanson, I mean, he come to a sudden halt and pushed way tight. Durgan left with nowhere to go in turns 3 and 4, and we will continue on. Yeah, that is a racing deal. Swanson slammed on the brake pedals to get out of the number 12, or get too close to the 12, slammed on the brakes, almost came to a complete stop. Durgan left with nowhere to go. We'll call that straight up racing. We'll restack them, re-rack them. I don't know if these guys like these modifieds or not, as Kyle Whitworth is like whipping his car all over the speedway, and I don't know why he's doing that, as looks like Durgan and the 2 might be taking a self-EOL, trying to cool down the tires, as we have 2 yellows so far here for these IMCA modifieds, and they're a little more momentum based, so I kind of want to catch a little bit of word of Beck Grube on that later, as he's the one to kind of say that they're more of a 602 style, which is kind of interesting. Scottsdale, think of it, the latest follow. But these IMCA modifieds, they have 2 yellows so far, 17 out of 50. 17 out of 50 guys, got a long way to go. So far, it ain't as bad as we had that 12 caution race here the other day on a Sunday for our Steel Block Late Model Series. But hey, you know what? We continue on as these IMC modifieds are back underway. It's almost like they're having a little bit of a hard time trying to separate each other. This is the first time I ever ran this is Dane Norris and Brett Grube and Tommy Kohick, and that just stacked everybody up in the back of the field. Thomas Kohick, Caleb Durgan, everybody going to be able to hold on to it and keep the race green, as that little bit of contact seems to be a big deal, as Dane Norris is going to give it right back to the number 5 machine, and they'll be able to roll on through for 16 out of 50 so far. Well, Zach, what we did is we changed the cars up. So what we did is we put 90% power in, which brings them down to 675. Then you run the IMCA rules of 2,450 pounds. So they're technically an IMCA rule. So they're about 602s right now at this point. You can change them. Yeah. So 19 out of 50 for these IMCA mods. Yeah, that's what we did. As you're going to have the number 31 machine on Travis Cole going to be able to roll to the inside. Meanwhile, the 11T, that's going to be old Kinder Tosh, as they're going to go door to door through the middle of turn 3 and 4. We're 20. We got about 30 more to go here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. And so far, what I noticed is like it's more of a momentum base, like Brett Grube said in that 5. And it seems like they're having a little bit of harder time. We got Levi Nielsen hard into the wall in turn 3 and 4. Everybody able to hang on to it, as here comes the number 12 of Kyle Whitworth. Essentially a little bit easier to race. I might give them 5% more power, trying to bring around that 700 mark, and I think it'll be a lot better than 800 and something. 22 out of 50 for these IMCA, as you got the SpongeBob ride. That's going to be Travis Cole. Wow, I'm shocked he did not draw a yellow flag, because usually when they go through there, that draws the yellow immediately. 23 out of 50, Travis Cole pulls his race car in, as you got Levi Nielsen in the 3rd spot. After that's going to be the old number 12. Let's get on with it. That's going to be Kyle Whitworth. Where did Whitworth come from? Struggling in heat race action. Now he drove up into that 4th spot. Meanwhile, it's going to be that number 5 of Brett Grube. We got the 115 of Dane Norris, as he continues to run the bottom side of the speedway. After that's going to be that number 25 of Kenny Cooney. Gets a big run up on the outside of the speedway, as Cooney rolls to the top shelf. You got the 115 of Norris to the inside, as you got a decent race back here for Wells. It's going to be for the 8th and 9th spot, as that's going to be the 00 of Tommy Kovic Jr. to the inside. The B4 of JT Wellman to the top shelf. You got that number 0 ride. That's going to be Caden C. Darden. That's so far the race for the 10th spot. We got about 25 to go. We've seen cross flags this time around, as it'll be Chris Swanson in the 171 machine. But Chase Copeland in that number 110 machine from the Midwest Sports has just been driving away in this one. Kinder Toss on the 11 team. Meanwhile, it's going to be the all black down machine on Levi Nielsen. He'll be for that third slot. You will have the number 5, old Kyle Whitmer, got way racy. Brett Groove's going to be able to run a cut down, so with the 25 of Kenny Kudney. As Kudney's going to get to the inside of 3 and 4. Whitmer starting to stand a little loose off of turn 3 and 4. As that's a 5 of Brett Groove. Kenny Kudney leaves a lane to the inside. As Kyle Whitmer, that number 12, back to the top shelf. They will go down to the backstretch. As it's Kenny Kudney getting the inside. There's going to be Mr. Kyle Whitmer in that number 12 machine. Brett Groove in the 5 right there behind him. We got a 4-car race, but here comes that number 115 for the Tony Stewart Racing Team. That's going to be Dane Norris. As Norris able to run through the middle of turn 3 and 4. As Norris gets a good run down to the backstretch, they'll still continue to race down to the backstretch as well. As that's going to be that number 12 of Kyle Whitmer to the top shelf. Over 3 wide, over 3 and 4. Kenny Kudney right through the middle down to the front stretch with 21 more to go. Good race here as these guys are rolling down the backstretch after number 12 of Kyle Whitworth as he's going to go to the top shelf. And don't worry, Keller, we got him slowed down a little bit. You might not have to do that. 20 to go for these IMCA modifieds, quote unquote. As the 5 of Whitworth to the top shelf, Kenny Kudney continue to lead that space to the inside as Kudney's going to run through the middle of 3 and 4. This is a really good race for that top 5. 19 to go, and what a slide job for the number 12 of Whitworth as Kenny Kudney goes back to the outside shelf. Meanwhile, the 115 of Dane Norris, they'll go through the middle of turn 3 and 4. It's a great race for the Whitworth's going to get in the back of the 25 of Kudney. Kenny Kudney, and what a save! 18 to go for these UMP modifieds as it's all going to be that number 25. That's going to be Kenny Kudney. Meanwhile, the number 5 machine of Brett Groove. Kudney's going to try to get a run to the inside of Brett Groove. They'll go door to door in turn 1 and 2 as Groove's going to watch up to the outside of the speedway. Kudney back to the backstretch. They'll go to the inside. They'll go door to door in the middle of 3 and 4. Brett Groove's going to fall off the speedway, and Kyle Whitmer's going to finish him off, and Brett Groove will fall back to the 8th spot. 16 to go, they say, as the IMCA modifies. As the 00, Tommy Kovics will be able to roll through the middle of 3 and 4. The 115 of Dane Norris through the middle of the set as well. He's going to be in that 115. He'll be for the 5th spot. You will have the number 25 of Kenny Kudney. Meanwhile, you do have a battle for the 2nd spot. Chase Coleman is up and left the field with 15 more to go as the race will be for 2nd. Levi Nielsen in an all blacked out ride, looking to the inside of the 11th of Kinder Tosh. Tosh to the top shelf. Nielsen going to try to work to the inside. 14 more to go as these guys are slicing and dicing for that 2nd spot. What's up, Foil? As it's going to be Levi Nielsen to the inside with 11th of Kinder Tosh. Can the number 25 of Kenny Kudney, maybe the 00 Tommy Kowick, maybe the 115. That'll be Dane Norris as Norris goes to the top shelf. Maybe a cut down line. That'll be a battle for the 5th slot as Tommy Kowick Jr. as these guys are starting to catch up to that 2nd place runner. Going to be the 11th. That's going to be Kinder Tosh. 12 more to go as he's going to roll through the middle of turn 1 and 2. You got Levi Nielsen going to try to get a run back down to the backstretch as he's going to work to the top shelf as the 11th of Tosh through the middle of 3 and 4. You will have that all black down machine of Levi Nielsen, but here comes that number 25 of Kenny Kudney as Nielsen going to fall off the speedway in 1 and 2. Look at Tommy Kowick to the inside as he will now take that 3rd slot away as you got the 11th of Kinder Tosh, Kenny Kudney to the top shelf. Brett Groove throwing some bombs in the back of the field as well. We got 10 to go. 10 to go here for these IMCA mods, if you want to say so, as it's all Chase Copeland out in front and gone, as the battle's going to be for that 2nd slot. Oh, Kenny Kudney, oh man, what a save! Dane Norris going to come in a little bit hot as there was a lot of contact there between Thomas Kovic, the number 11 of Kinder Tosh, as there's a little bit of a bump going into 3 and 4. Tosh back to the inside. Kenny Kudney all about lost it. A little bit of a bump there, and Kinder Tosh now will fall back to the 5th spot. Oh, it's getting slicey down to the backstretch. Good Lord. As the number 25, that's going to be old Mr. Kudney with a slide top in the middle of 3 and 4. 4 wide of a turn number 4. As Kovics will be able to roll to the inside. The number 25 machine. That's going to be you already know it. That's going to be Kenny Kudney. As Kudney's going to go to the top shelf. Chase Brown thinking for the latest follow is now Thomas Kovic. It's going to be in the wall. 6 to go. 6 to go, and now with a change of things, as now Kenny Cooney going to be in that second spot. Bubba falls off the speedway, and here comes the 115 of Dane Norris right there to the inside. As Dane Norris going to try to get a run through the middle of turn 3 and 4. 5 more to go this time around. As the 115 to the inside, it'll go to the 25 machine. That's going to be Mr. Kenny Cooney, door to door through the middle of 3 and 4. You got 4 to go. 4 to go for the UMP Modifieds. As the number 25 of Kenny Cooney going to go to the top shelf. The 115, that's going to be Dane Norris. Oh, man, that 00 ride of Tommy Kovic just buried his card into the wall with 3 to go. Well, your race leader, Chase Copeland, all but 6 seconds of a gap. He'll be getting in the 2 to go this time around. As Copeland goes to the top shelf, he'll get her drum down to the backstretch. Once again, the white flag shall wave. As the Midwest sends towards number 110 of Chase Copeland, dominating the field. White flag in the air this time by Kenny Cooney going to be looking good for that 25 for the second slot. To be 115 for Dane Norris, the 00 Tommy Kowick, Kinder Tosh running in 5th. You'll have the 171 machine, the 0 Caden C. Dart, and the 12 of Kyle Whitworth. But it's all Chase Copeland. He'll get it done. It'll go to Kenny Cooney, number 25. It'll be the 115 of Dane Norris again with Tommy Kowick, the 11T of Kinder Tosh. After that's going to be the 171 of Chris Swanson. You have the number 0 Caden C. Darden. Kyle Whitworth's going to bury his car into the wall for the 8th spot. I don't think